Welcome back to Everett Barbecue. I'm Joe Everett, and today we're jumping into the brisket craze that's sweeping them smoked streets. That's right, I'm talking about that Brisket Confit. We're smoking a prime grade brisket on the Weber Smoky Mountain. Then we're gonna finish it off wrapped in meat paper, and then we're gonna hold it overnight in a bath of homemade beef tallow. Let's go get it. Okay gang, it's trim time. I found this prime grade brisket on sale at the Northside Costco, and since this is a big brisket, I'm going with a fairly aggressive trim here. We'll start off as usual by ditching some of the hard fat, and then we're gonna have to give this thing some shape by trimming up them sides that are just too slim to see this smoke. Now on the meat side, I like to skip out on that fat and say sayonara to that silver skin. We want our brisket slices looking sick up on that silver screen, son. Time to flip it to the fat cap and find that 1/4 inch thickness and tame that mohawk down a bit. We also want to get rid of the hard fat and scrape off any danglers or droopers. Now we got to get this roast right and add some rub. So you know we're going with that basic mustard binder, and then it's time for AP rub, aka Big Savory. Then we're gonna top it off with our Texas style rub for that perfect peppery profile. Now do yourself a favor and start with those sides first. And then you put your rub on the bottom so that when we flip, we're gonna be finishing out on what's gonna be the presentation side of this brisket. I also like to pat every layer of rub in as I go. I feel that gives me the best bark and contact for my seasoning. We're cooking this thing fat cap up, so we'll season the fatty side just like the meat, pat it down super light, and hook this brisket up just right. Standard setup on the Weber Smoky Mountain, guys. What we have here is the WSM Flux Capacitor. 4 solid chunks of pecan wood in a triad that line up with the vents that we have. We're gonna have this back vent barely open. These two open just a small skosh, and we're gonna pour that lit chimney right on the center here of this first chunk of wood so we get a nice smoldering smoky effect. Alright, not bad. We want it nice, slow and low with the pecan wood under all the charcoal just smoldering away, because we want those beauteous wisps of smoke all over this brisket, boy. Well, I should probably explain a little something about the new cooker. Your eyes do not deceive you. That is a Weber Smoky Mountain 22 inch. And this, of course, is Muchacho, my Weber Smoky Mountain 18. No, Muchacho cannot and will not be replaced. I found this bad boy on Craigslist for $250. It has been used all of 4, maybe 5 times that I can tell. She is close to factory. I have not cleaned it once. I gave the grill grates a nice scoring and cleaned the grates off. Gave it a seasoning burn, and I've cooked with it twice now. It's a little bit of an adjustment, I'll just be honest. For any of you out there that are thinking of buying either cooker and making the decision between the two, thus far I'm gonna have to say it. This little 18 here, I didn't say little muchacho. This 18.5 burns as efficient as any cooker I own, period. I have total confidence I could set this 18.5 up with the coals just right, dial it in properly, leave for 3 hours. Old muchacho would still be humming at 250 strong. I do love this new cooker though, and a big reason we're using it today is the extra space allotment it is going to give us for this brisket we're about to smoke. It was just a screaming deal. The guy wanted $250 for it. Right now, these things new at the hardware store are $550. Not only has it barely been used, it even came with a case. and the guy was unbelievably nice and extremely cool. Denver Broncos fan, what? I see you, Russell Wilson. I believe this is a 2018 model. The serial number on the daisy wheel is CB, so looking that up. We're looking at a 4 to 5 year old smoker, barely been used, garaged its whole life, found a new home. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Biff Tannen. That's what we're going on with, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of a mohawk, but not too bad. I'm rather pleased with that trimming job. Ah, boy, this lid is not a one-hander. That's something to get used to, full soul. On she's going. Fare thee well. All right, we're gonna let this guy cruise at the 250 area best we can and check on that dude in about 2 hours, see where we're at. Okie dokie, we're about 2 hours in. This brisket cook, bring you in and we'll both get the live look. All right, we're at 225 if you can't see that. Yeah, I don't know if that's crusted over perfectly yet. There's a little bit on me finger. I think this end though does need a spritzer. A spritzer. Well team, I think we're gonna give it a spritz every 30 to 45 minutes. This here is 2 parts apple cider vinegar and 1 part water. Real simple spritz. I'm just trying to keep some moisture on it, make sure that crust don't dry out. Get ready for that confit, cuz. All right, we're looking at 2 hours, 45 minutes, just short of 3 hours. So let's have us a look-see. 225 on old Biff Tannen, 3 solid hours. You go, WSM 22. 22. Not too shabby. We are crusting up pretty hard here on the point. I'm gonna have to watch that. But overall, pleasing looking brisket here, I think. And this is why I could have done a better trimming job this point. I should have tapered that mohawk down just a tad and then maybe slimmed this down, because these bits are crusting up pretty hard, pretty fast. You know the drill, we're gonna keep spritzing her. I'll be back with you before we send her out for that wrap nap and start dancing that Tallow Tango, team. Having us a day, team. Some chicken halves. You know we're going on muchacho, not to be underscored. Muchacho getting some love too. And you know what? This ain't just rando footage. I'm gonna hook you all up with a little bit of a chicken cheat code. That's right, you heard me. Instead of making it look like a half chicken in here and putting the breast towards the center, I got my fire belt towards the center. So I'm gonna put the breast away on the outer rim of this here web of smoky mouth. And incidentally, I got the water pan completely removed for this cook. And if you don't know about my crispy skin smoked chicken on the Weber Smoky Mountain video, yeah, that's what you need to click. I'm telling you, best chicken you've had on the Weber Smoky Mountain. I put those chicken halves in there, remove the water pan, crank it up to 300 when I finish, flip them up on the face side. You know, I'll spare you the details. Click the link, do us a favor, hook your boy up with a solid, and let's get back to it. Oh, incidentally, there's some royal oak up in muchacho, a little bit of applewood smoking off in there. Probably gonna hit it with some Eckrich, probably gonna spritz this brisket. Okay, crew, it's 5.5 hours later, and I gotta show you the lid. Still 250. Been very pleased with the temp management on the new Smoky Mountain here, because right now, I mean, she still needs a ways from what I can tell, but we might be wrapping soon. Have a look at this lid, eh? I mean, is that not sexy? She's got a nice patina on her. Like I said, this is only the 3rd total cook. Biff Tannen, if anybody wanted to know the nickname. Muchacho has an older brother. This brisket was ready to wrap about 8 hours in. I was loving the way the bark was looking, so time to break out the meat paper, the beef tallow, and give this big brisket a wrap nap until it gets probe tender. At that point, I'm gonna give it a brief rest, but from here on out, we're likely gonna save some charcoal and finish up in the oven, aka the smokeless cooker. Those empty 3 tall Mason's jars, that's what's in there. We've got an auxiliary batch of homemade tallow. And if we need more, there's 3 more batches past that. Okay. How about that? You know, I may have been able to get away with the pan I was about to use, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna need double the batch of tallow. Indeed. Just for reference, we're breaking out the auxiliary fresh made tallow, 4 giant Mason's jars, plus the old little dude. We'll see if we can get enough to confit. Okay crew, we're at batch number 2 of the tallow. Have you ever seen that much tallow? I wanna know. You seen more tallow? Hit me up in the comments section. For real, dog. Okay team, that's going in for the confit coma. 8, maybe 10 hours. We'll fill you in when we get filled in. Okay crew, moment of truth here. My, that's a lot of tallow. I don't know if you can see the old microwave clock, probably can't. 9 a.m. next day. And that is what she's looking like. It certainly appears that we've lost a significant amount of bark. Wow. That is some tender. Ladies and gentlemen, the Confit Brisket. Honest to goodness, I thought we'd lose a lot more bark than that. I think it's time to do some slicing and sampling. Well, I think we're gonna go with the non-serrated. I will be surprised if this holds up to a 1/4 inch slice. Let's give her a shot, shall we? Oh yeah. The bark's wanting to go. I'll be honest though, I thought we'd lose a lot more bark than what we did. She is slicing up. Oh yeah. every slice is tallowy goodness, and it's wanting to go there on the bottom, it appears. She definitely cooked a little bit more on the bottom. I think we're gonna fall apart there on the underside of this flat. But I don't know, crazier things have happened. This has been an 8-hour overnight experience on this hold. Let's see how our midsection did. Ooh. Yeah, she's some tender. Barely hanging on there, but it's hanging. Full test, of course, no sweat. Look at that juice-a-lanch. Here's the underside though. Lost a lot of good bark in that bath, but the underside usually doesn't keep very well, but I mean, if I gave this a solid shake, I am 100% this would just fall apart. But yeah, very juicy, extremely tender. Whoa. You know you love that meat candy. I can't tell you guys how good that is. Here's another one. It barely stands up on its own. Matter of fact, this will fall while we're talking. If I give it enough time, I'm thinking, there you go. It's a little too tender almost. Now granted, my oven goes a little, it peaks past 170 degrees, so I'm sure that didn't help this situation, but this is a rich brisket. If you're gonna do this confit process, number one, have some beef tallow on your hands ahead of time and have some extra handy. It took a lot more than what I thought. I'd used 6 large Mason's jars full of homemade beef tallow of mine, and well, I don't want to think how much that'd be from if you're buying it from a store. This is the only reason I tried this recipe. I have a lot of tallow on hand. I have a lot of brisket trimmings that gets rendered down, and I repurpose that. It's not just BS you see on YouTube. It's like, yeah, I'm sure you're saving all those trimmings. I do, man. My freezer is stupid with trimmings. You should have seen it before I made them 6 giant jars of tallow, son. This is a good experiment. It's super tasty. Every single bite is flavorful. Even the lean is rich, beefy. Everything, as you saw, was super juicy. With that bath of beef tallow, I'd hope it kept some juice. But still, with the consistency of the brisket, I don't know that I'm completely in favor of it. And also, I will have to say, I mean, meat sweat's on full right now. Every bite of this brisket is super rich. I mean, it's awesome, don't get me wrong, but a little bit of this brisket goes a long way. Really fun cook. We put this prime grade brisket through the smoke for about 6 hours, wrapped it in meat paper and beef tallow to finish her off, then held it in a bath of beef tallow for 8 hours overnight. Next day, this brisket couldn't be more tender, couldn't be more flavorful. Right now, I'm thinking of what kind of sandwiches, what kind of burritos, and what kind of damage I could do with this on the Blackstone. You know, I'm probably trying this recipe again, and when I do, I'm gonna use a choice grade brisket or a select grade brisket just to see if I could enhance the flavor with this whole confit, since it's, right now, every bite, like I said, is super rich. To me, this is a definite flavor enhancer, and you won't be sorry if you give this a shot. All I've got to say again is be prepared with some extra tallow on hand. If you've got some extra left over, you've done it right. This is definitely a unique smoke session. I appreciate you checking out this video. If you want more cooks or other experiments from my channel, ring that bell, click subscribe, join my tribe, jump in the backyard, hang with my gang, and you can get to cooking with us. Clean up this new fancy cutting board. What up, booze bug? Damn thing weighs a ton, I'm gonna tell you though. I have to brag. Found this bad boy in Effingham, Illinois, and it turns out that's where the factory and wholesaler is. This here was a discounted $409 cutting board that I got for $100 clean. We're gonna have him some shredded beef brisket, eggs Benedict. Sometimes it's good to be friends with the Benedicts, dog. Alright? Maybe y'all don't know about the Benedicts. Shout out Trailer Park Boys, friends with the Benedicts. Sweeping up them smoked skreets. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, she's a scorcher. But hey, I'm gonna let you know your boy had 1 jar in reserve. Woo! I'm gonna render, it's gonna be tender, and we about to get comfy with that confit, cuz. Right there, Members Mark trays, favorite trays in the world. I don't think I have to tell you why. Man, get a muffler, dog. For real, man. Just ruining people's videos is not the way to be living life. Flavor save for later. Well, it's like a liquor lunch in there. Old Biff already purring. You got a juice groove. You ballin' hard, cousin. Damn. Better look up. Better look up for me and my juice groove.